Paulie has a game here. Guess who took the most threes team-wise. Guess who took the least amount of threes. But that also leads me to a question I have for Nick Wright, the popular co-host of First Things First on Fox Sports 1. We'll play the game, Nick, but also, what about this next year? What if we had a no three-point line for one night in the NBA? Like every game, there's no three-pointers. We remove it just to see how the game is played.
Oh, I like that idea. I like the idea that many have postulated, which is make the arc an actual arc so it would extend out of bounds, right? So you wouldn't have the corner threes anymore. Kurt Goldsberry had the single best idea, which is each team gets to draw the three-point line where they want on their own court, like baseball teams do with the fences. Yeah. So if you don't want to have one, you don't have one. If you want to have it at the NCAA line, you have it at the NCAA line. If you want to have it 35 feet out because you're the Hawks and you have Trae Young and you're like, we're the only team that can hit those, I'm good with that. I like those ideas. I really like the idea of turning the three-point line into something like a baseball stadium's outfield. I think that's a fun wrinkle.
Okay. Paulie, are we going to do most threes or least threes first?
Let's go with which NBA team attempted the most three-pointers per game in the 2021-22 season.
Nick, I'll let you start. You're the guest.
Oh, in the regular season?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Utah.
All right.
Utah is second.
Oh, that was going to be my pick. Seton?
Well, it feels kind of obvious, so it must be wrong, but the Warriors?
Yeah, no, I thought it. Not them. Marv?
Just say the Hawks.
Ooh. Paulie?
Nope, they're not even in the top five.
Todd?
Memphis.
Also not in the top five.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where are the Warriors?
Does your crew watch sports?
No.
Okay.
No.
These are some bad guesses, boys.
The Hawks are 18.
Is it the Rockets?
It's the Minnesota Timberwolves, number one. 41 threes per game.
Well, you do have Karl Anthony Towns taking 6 3-pointers a night. Golden State is third. Yes.
Seton. Oh, third. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a terrible
Okay,
guess.
so the least attempted threes.
Okay, there's a hint. The team took only 28 threes per game. Their best player is known.
Well, no hints yet. Nick, I'll start with you. The team that attempted.
Well, that half hint is now messing with my brain. I don't even.
So it's a not a hint. It's just like the
I think he was going to say their best player is known for shooting threes, yet they shot the fewest. It's obvious. I was going to say San Antonio because Popovich was late to the game on the three. I don't know who shot the fewest. It would be a bad team.
Right.
I do know that. It's a bad team.
All right. Todd, you want to guess?
I'm going to say the Rockets.
Rockets are fourth for the most.
Yeah, I said.
Yeah, were you just listening?
I said the Rockets were one of my guesses, and I'm brilliant.
Seton?
How about the Phoenix Suns?
All right.
Suns are a decent guess. They're fifth from the bottom.
Marv?
The Heat.
Talking about the Heat?
Well,
I'm going to go the Knicks.
You're all very wrong. The hint is their best player is known for not taking threes.
Oh. Well, that would be the Heat with Jimmy Butler.
Or the
no, it's the Chicago Bulls.
Chicago Bulls.
DeMar DeRozan.
Okay. Yeah, the only guy on that team that shot threes was Levine.
All right, let's talk about your Mavericks.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier in the show that there are playoff losses that are not equal. Like Phoenix, you got to be disappointed if you're a Phoenix Suns fan. If you're a Dallas fan, I mean, you may be disappointed with last night, but there seems to be more hope that you're building on something. So what do you think happens next for the Dallas Mavericks?
Well, listen, I think this was a wildly successful season, but I also think they have very tough choices, which is they might have to choose to take a slight step back, Dan, because I don't think Jalen Brunson is worth $28 million a year. If someone's going to offer Jalen 4 for 100 around there, that's $25 million a year for your crew that doesn't watch basketball and I assume can't do basic math, but that's what it would be.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm taking a lot of shots here, guys. My apologies. It's Friday. I lost a lot of money on this series.
How much did you lose? How much did you lose on the Mavs?
I mean,
$5,000?
You're talking about last night or total in the series?
Total in the series.
More than 5, less than 10. However, it's really the unrealized gains. I was looking at a smooth $72,000, Dan, if the Mavs, well, it was going to be 72 if they won the title. It was going to be 38 if they made the finals, with a less than $3,000 total risk outlay.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was the unrealized gains. I'm like, one of the mini crypto folks that feels like I was so close to being rich and now I'm not. But that's neither here nor there. So to answer your question, I wouldn't tie myself to Jalen Brunson as Luka's co-star. I don't think he's good enough to be Luka's co-star. So I think you might have to take a step back, keep flexibility until you find the right co-star. And so when I picked the Mavs on this show and others to make the finals a couple months ago, I said it's going to be like LeBron in 07 with that Cavs team. But if you remember, that Cavs team never made the finals. They 08, 09, 2010, they had LeBron. They couldn't find the right pieces. They never made the finals. So that's team-wise. Individually, Luka got banged on for his defense like he wasn't trying. Luka's below average defensively, but it's not for lack of effort. It is because he's not in good enough shape. And he does so much on offense, he rests on defense. So he's 23 years old. I understand the man likes some beers and some hookah. I get it. Which of us didn't at 23? But he's got to get in better shape. He should be right now the second best player in basketball. He needs to get in better shape so he can be better on that end of the court.
Who is the second best player in basketball?
It might be Luka. Giannis is clear number one. Steph is so impactful, and he keeps winning. Durant, it's weird. Durant's better than Steph, but Steph's had a better career. I think Luka's the second best player in the league, but I can't prove it.
But you know what,
believe
Nick,
it to be true, but I can't prove it.
Why do we always hesitate with Steph Curry? Like we still don't want to go, he's in the top 5 or top 3 or he's great. It feels like we hesitate, maybe having a hard time defining his greatness for some reason.
Well, I think missing the playoffs in back-to-back years, in your early 30s didn't help. I mean, they had
injuries. They had injuries.
Yeah, but last year he was there. The first year he had, the world's worst hand injury. That wasn't the Warriors tanking at all because they knew they couldn't win. But last year, and he lost back-to-back playing games. That hurts him. But and now I know the new thing is Steph's top 10. Steph's top 10 all time. He's top 10 all time. And it's not an outrageous statement. The problem is, in order for Steph to be in the top 10, you must have a 12-person top 10, because there's simply LeBron, Kareem, Michael, Magic, Wilt, Russell, you're at 6. Kobe, Duncan, Bird, you're at 9. So for Steph to be in the top 10, he must be better than everyone I haven't listed. So that's better than Shaq. That's better than Hakeem. That's better than Dr. J, not to mention KD, Giannis, Moses, those guys. So listen, I think he's 12th, whether he wins this title or not. I think it's going to be I think it's hard, though. He's going to jump Shaq. I don't know. I don't think Steph Curry's better than Shaq. I don't. I think Steph Curry's amazing. I don't think he's better than Shaq. I certainly don't think he's better than Hakeem.
Yeah, but it's tricky with these lists because I think it has to start 1980 on. I think you have to do, the TV era. I think you got to be fair to everybody involved here.
Okay, so listen, it's very interesting you said 1980 on. So on a very popular, I don't know if you've heard of it, new podcast called What's Right with Nick Wright. They're doing this. They're doing the 50 greatest players of the last 50 years. And it's a countdown 50 to 1. So it's Kareem to now. I don't know that you have to start with the TV era. I think Kareem's rookie year to now is fair, because that gets you Kareem, that gets you Dr. J, that gets you Rick Barry, gets you Elvin Hayes to now. So if we were to do that, then Steph Curry's top 10. He's top 10 of the last 50. I think he's 10th, but he's top 10 of the last 50. I think that's fair.
When are you doing your top 10? Or have you done your top 10 on that popular show?
Not a subscriber, not a viewer on YouTube, not a subscriber on the old iTunes feed.
No, I like to just talk to you. Like tonight, I'll talk to you at dinner.
Oh, you brought up dinner first. Oh, fancy that. Who lost that bet? And guys in the back.
But I didn't. But I didn't lose a bet if I get to go to dinner with you.
Oh, that's it. I meant who lost the bet on if I was going to bring up dinner first. I meant a bet about the bet. We are going to dinner because you foolishly picked the Suns.
Well,
and
I
even
just
gave
did
you
that
even
for
odds.
content, Nick. That was content.
Oh, okay.
No,
good.
I wanted Luka to win.
No, that's interesting.
I
I hope the
story.
audience knows. Dan gives you takes for content. They're not what he truly believes in his marrow and his soul.
I wouldn't be the only host who does that.
Well, the only host I would associate with, tell you that much right now. But what was the question you had asked me? I had forgotten.
Your top 10 on your show.
Oh, when is it coming out? So players, it comes out every Sunday. We are getting into the top 20. We're doing, I think, 21, 20, and 19 this Sunday, and then next Sunday, so on and so forth. We'll do 3 per day until we get to the top 10. So over the next few weeks.
The Joker has reaffirmed his long-term commitment to Denver, clearing the way to sign a $260 million Supermax in the offseason. That, according to Shams.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever turned down the Supermax on their first real bite at the massive money apple? I mean, no, of course. And they're a good team. And with the Jamal Murray's good, maybe a touch overrated, but good. And Michael Porter Jr., if healthy, could be their hope is this, that Michael Porter Jr. can be the second best player. Jamal Murray, if he's your third best player, you can win a title. But the question is Michael Porter Jr. and his health and his back, all that's very concerning. But they are now going to be locked. That's their team. Joker's going to be making $50 million. They paid Porter Jr. early when they didn't need to, when the questions were about his back. He's making 30, and I think Jamal's making about 30. That's probably why they didn't have the money to pay their GM. The GM left. He's like, yeah, you got money for the players. They don't got money for me. I found the player, so he's out of there. But yeah, they'll be good. I don't think they'll win the title.
Explain the Celtics turnaround in mid-January.
I can't. It's Ime Udoka. Credit to him. Credit to Smart, Tatum, and Brown for staying together. For not, because do you remember Marcus Smart had that odd quote where he was like, essentially it was, Jason Tatum needs to pass the ball more.
Yeah.
It's Marcus Smart's time to cook. And that could have ripped a team apart. Credited him for a good trade deadline move. Credit to Brad Stevens for attaching a pick to Kemba Walker to bring in Al Horford, a move that I didn't totally understand. I'm like, Al Horford, but Al Horford's been invaluable to them. They've developed their players well. Robert Williams, who's been healthy, has been excellent. I didn't see this one coming at all. Now, don't put it past the Celtics to blow a 3-2 lead in the conference finals. They love doing that. However, usually LeBron's the reason for it. If the Celtics, you know how they named all these trophies? You have the Larry Bird trophy now, the Magic Johnson trophy, Bob Cousy. If the Celtics lose, if they end up losing this conference finals, but I don't think they will, do you think they'll name the Eastern Conference runner-up trophy after the Celtics?
Wow.
Because they keep getting it?
Wow. That's a shot.
Yeah, sorry.
Shot.
I'm not a fan. The Celtic fans, man. Ugh.
What about,
I can't believe they're going to get this.
Do you
happiness.
think Jordan is bothered that he got left out?
So isn't that interesting? So I was thinking, I was like 3 greatest players ever, LeBron, Kareem, and Jordan. None of them got anything named after him. But then I was like, no, Kareem has the Social Justice Award named after him. So LeBron and Jordan not having anything named after him feels odd to me. I also felt like Eastern Conference MVP and Western Conference MVP should have been Kobe and LeBron. I was surprised. Maybe they didn't want to give it to an active player. It felt like that was a weird, because the MVP, they gave it to Cousy and was it Elgin? Elgin was in the Western Conference Finals 3 times. I think he only won it twice. Like I love Elgin, but it was an odd choice there. And Cousy's fine. I'm sure it made Mad Dog happy, but I would have thought it should have been LeBron and Kobe for those 2. I
like Chris Broussard's take, though, on Cousy and that he was sticking up for the old school basketball player. J.J. Redick called out Mad Dog Russo and said that basically Bob Cousy was playing against, firemen and policemen or whatever.
Plumbers or whatever.
Yeah,
Here's
plumbers.
the thing. Here's what I believe. I believe that both of these things can be true. I truly believe that if you took Bob Cousy in his form at his apex of basketball and dropped him into today's NBA or today's world, he could not get a Division I scholarship. I believe that. I also believe he's one of the 30 greatest players ever. Just like Jesse Owens could not qualify for the finals of the latest NCAA championships, but he might be the greatest track and field athlete ever, or certainly one of the greatest. Both of those things can be true. And it's what, to me, it's unfair. Like, so J.R. Smith is better than the majority of people Bob Cousy played against. But that doesn't mean J.R. Smith's better than Bob Cousy. Like, I just don't think it's fair to analyze things that way. You can only compete against your era. And so I think JJ was half right on Cousy, but also way wrong.
I'll leave you with this. You can sign one of the two long term.
Okay.
James Harden or Kyrie Irving?
Kyrie. Because Kyrie is still very good. He's just a pain in the ass and he's unreliable. I don't know if Harden's good anymore. Like, I'd rather deal with, it's like someone's like, hey, who do you want? They're both free agents. Who do you want to sign to a long-term broadcasting deal? Nick Wright, uber talented, but a bit of a like a wild card, not that reliable, kind of a pain in the ass to work with. Or Dan Patrick, clearly past his prime. Like, what are you going to do in that spot? And neither's great, but I think people probably are like, give me the young talent.
That's a hypothetical, though, right?
Well, I'm not a free agent anytime soon. I don't know about you.
But past his prime thing. I mean,
he's still a good actor.
Yeah. Well, according to your wife.
No, she said you were good looking.
Oh. Not past my prime there.
Okay. No, that's a weird thing. You're better looking now. I don't mind complimenting your looks. You're an objectively handsome man, just like you're objectively used to be a better broadcaster.
Okay.
And now you've got these guys telling you the Houston Rockets don't shoot threes. I mean, it's not, I mean, you can only carry this squad so far.
That's what's amazing. I'm doing what LeBron did with the Cavaliers.
You know what? Not the 07 Cavs, but the 2018 Cavs. Also an older LeBron. People question, was he past his prime? Then it's like, could anyone else have taken these guys this far? You know what? I take it back.
Okay.
Excited to see you at dinner tonight.
By the way, I just don't want to overdress or underdress, because last time you came in with a full-length red coat.
No, I was wearing
You look
a nice
like Lenny
coat.
Kravitz. You look like Lenny Kravitz.
I was wearing a nice coat. It was chilly out.
I know.
I am leaving dinner and driving straight to a casino in Philadelphia. So I'm going to be dressed in gambling attire. So there's going to be a little jewelry. You're seeing I'm wearing some of it now already.
I know.
There's going to be a lot of cash in my pocket and, some nice jeans, nice shoes, and ready to roll, man. Ready to roll.
And I'm picking up the tab.
You're damn straight.
Yeah.
And you're taking me to a mutton chop house. I said a Wagyu beef, and you're like, hey, where's some sheep we can get?
I look forward to breaking bread with you tonight.
You too. I can go earlier too. I know guys your age, they tend to they want to get
We're
in.
going at 6 o'clock. That's early enough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's early enough. All right. Talk to you then. That's Nick Wright. First things first.